Making your vote count is taking the next step today in Michigan.
And today, clerks will begin sending out requested absentee ballots.
And your local clerk's office will become a precinct as absentee in-person voting begins.
Now, Macomb County Clerk Fred Miller is joining us live this morning. Thank you so much for being with us. What do voters need to know before they show up for absentee in-person voting starting today?
Well, that sound that you hear is the window of opportunity opening on our election season. 40 days from today is November 3rd, Election Day, and we're used to thinking about our elections as being one action-packed day. But really, with the new rights for Michigan voters, we can start casting ballots starting today. And what we're urging people to do is make a plan about voting. You can vote in the polling location on November 3rd, or you can vote absentee and get that ballot back to your local clerk in a number of different ways. It's never been easier to participate in elections in Michigan than it is today, but we're asking people to make a plan, and that starts with checking out michigan.gov/vote. That's an incredible service offered by our Secretary of State that allows you to check your registration, where you vote, track your absentee ballot, and all those good things. It's a great tool for all voters.
Now, Fred, when some people hear in-person voting, they may think that it will work the same as on Election Day. Will votes actually start being tabulated today when ballots are collected?
Nope, the clerks do as much as they can ahead of time, but there's no actual counting of votes until Election Day. There are bills going through the legislature right now which would expand by a day or so the time the clerks have to prepare those ballots for counting, but the actual counting won't happen until Election Day, which is an important reminder. So if somebody votes absentee in this 40-day window and then has a change of mind or feels like they made a mistake, you can always go in person to your local clerk and request to have your previous ballot spoiled and to get a new ballot up to and including on Election Day.
Now, there's still a lot of concern, obviously, around COVID-19. What precautions are being taken at clerks' offices in Macomb County to keep voters safe when voters walk into those offices to cast a ballot?
Well, the clerks in Macomb County and around the state ran a very successful statewide election in August, our August primary. And I don't want to call it a test run because it was an important election in and of itself, but it really gave us the experience about how to mobilize PPE for all the polling locations and make sure that social distancing protocols and other steps are in place to keep both election workers and the public safe.
And fears of fraud, voters should not be worried about it.
There's no difference to whether you're casting your ballot in person on Election Day and or via absentee. There are a lot of protocols put in place, and it's important to remember as we hear these stories about this conversation about voting, it's important to remember that different rules are done state by state. And here in Michigan, our elections and your vote is very secure for a number of reasons.
Macomb County Clerk Fred Miller, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
I really appreciate it.